yeah, I got some goals for myself. Some little milestones, I guess. One of them, I don't know if it's just me. I know it's not just me. I've talked to some other fat people, but I don't know if this is like a every fat person thing. But like, I keep clothes that I no longer fit in because in my head I'm like, I'm gonna fit in these again one day. So I'm not gonna throw away these perfectly good jeans. I love these jeans, I'm gonna fit in them one day. And one of the things that I have held on to for a long time is a specific shirt. And I am like determined to fit into that shirt again. And it's one that I have not fit into since I was, 19 years old or something. Like, it's been a minute. But, and that's not a quick goal. But I've just been thinking about it, like certain goals I have, and that's one of them. Is to fit into this goofy ass shirt that I still have, that I've kept since 2009. That I wore in high school. Anyways. Yeah. So that's one of my goals. I have another one, which is to, if I can stick with the working out for long enough, that I'll start upgrading my workout equipment. Because I have ADHD, and one of the things that I do repeatedly is when I get into something, I tend to go like a little overboard. I'm like, oh, well, I have to have everything. And I found this like meme that's perfect, and it just says, it doesn't have to be done, it just has to be perfect. And that's kind of how I am, for real. Like, I will procrastinate something forever because I know that it can't be perfect. And then only when I know that it can be perfect will I do it. And so what ends up happening with a lot of my stuff is it never gets done. Just because I have this fear of not being able to achieve perfection. And one thing that my wife is really good at is do it now, make it perfect later. And even though it irritates me to death, she will do stuff with no planning sometimes and just go and do it, and it'll be like the worst way to do something in my head. I'm like, what are we doing? This is terrible. But she'll get it done and then worry about the perfection part after it's like working and complete and finished, which is cool. I do really appreciate that about her, and I'm trying to be better about that. So with this, I am fighting against like, oh well, I'm trying to be accountable, so I'm trying to post on social media so that I have like the accountability side of things and keep me motivated. But it's really hard to not just like go out and like buy every piece of gym equipment and everything that in my head I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, because I know that that's just that's how I normally do things. It's my normal hobby cycle. So, anyways, enough of that. But that is another goal of mine. It's just and that's when I haven't figured out exact numbers yet. But I think like I'm gonna do dates maybe if I've stuck with it for 3 months, maybe I'll buy me another piece of equipment or something, like an exercise bike or something I like. But for now, we're just going with the very minimal things that I have. Plus, it's not like I can afford any of that stuff anyway. So it's like, who am I kidding? Even if I did it, I'd just go put it all on the credit card, which would just be stupid. Anyway, because I don't need any more debt, that's for sure. Yeah. this weekend was a bit of an interesting time. I had a really good routine for during the week while I'm working. I had got into one, and I'm back. I'm going to work now, and I'm back in my routine of being able to hit my protein goals and my water goals and my exercise goals. Like, I've got a routine for during the week, but that was my first weekend, so I really wasn't prepared just because we had all sorts of stuff going on this weekend, and I didn't really plan ahead. So, like, Saturday was a little wild, and I think I missed the protein goal. I have to go back and look at my notes, to be honest. I missed protein goal, I'm pretty sure, and I know I didn't get my full workout out. In fact, I cranked out most of that literally right before taking that video, just because I was like, dang, I can't go in with nothing. And we were just on a time crunch because me and Kate were going to do something in Atlanta. And yeah, so that's a thing. Sunday was a lot better. I was a little more prepared going into it. Like, okay, I can't let Saturday happen again. How do I need to fix it? So I had kind of prepared some things. Even though I was going to be gone a big chunk of the day, I knew going into it. And that day, I was never planning to work out necessarily, because that is my planned rest day is Sundays. But then I ended up walking 5 miles, which is fine too, like I just I went into Atlanta with my kid, and we just walked around a ton. And like a dingus, I did not bring her stroller, and she was done. She was like, I'm tired of walking, Dad. So then I had to carry her on my shoulders for the second half of that day. And that's fine. I enjoy doing that, but it does get tiring. She was like, got her hands on my top of my head, and she's like, Dad, your head is sweaty. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm indoors. We've been walking around all day. I'm carrying you on my shoulders, and in my head I'm thinking, and I'm fat. Like, come on, of course I'm sweating. But it was fun nonetheless. And then last night I didn't get jack for sleep. So going into this week, I think one of the things I want to add is walking more. So, man, it's cold, and I'm going to regret saying this, but I plan on walking during my lunch hour. Usually I just take my lunches at my desk. Put on some Netflix or something, or audiobooks is a big one that I do, and just eat my lunch there and just chill. But I think I'm going to try to go for a walk during my lunch, and at least on any day that I'm there at the office. Like, that's my plan. And it's not going to be like, I'm not going to go jogging, I'm not power walking necessarily, but I'm just trying to get some steps in. And just not be sitting around all day. And that's on top of that, I'll still keep up with the other stuff. 100 push-ups a day, I just do those throughout the day. 100, body weight squats, I do those throughout the day. Same thing with lunges, I do some of those. Those I don't necessarily do 100 every day, but those ones I'm doing just because I'm getting older, and I don't want to lose knee strength, I guess. That's my thought with it, is that it's helping me as I'm getting back into working out, that will just help some of my knee stability, because that's a concern, I guess. And then I got some dumbbells in there too, so I do some shoulder workouts and various dumbbell stuff throughout the day as well. It's nice having a private office. I don't have to share my office space. Although people have still walked in on me doing stuff, which is a little bit awkward too. All right, blast your horn. Cool, man. What you do? Whatever's going on with that, I don't know. Yeah, anyways, so that's it. I know this video is super long. I realize that. I am not going to post long videos to everywhere. I'm probably just going to post these to YouTube, just kind of my rants. I'll probably only do these once a week, unless you guys, I guess unless a bunch of you decide, hey, this is why I'm going to start following this loser, is because of these super long videos. But I'll probably just post these to YouTube. It's more just for my sake, honestly, just to keep track of where I'm at and get my thoughts out of my head and stuff. Although, I mean, I'm doing this on social media for a reason. I am trying to keep myself accountable. I am trying to, get a bunch of people that, are interested in following that progress and be like, yeah, we're here. We're going to watch you. We're going to, engage with you and see, how you're doing and keep you on track. And I really have a friend of mine to thank for that. He started doing it. And for different reasons. And he said it has been helping him. And I was like, man, that's a good idea. Maybe I just need to quit being a baby and do it. Out of embarrassment or whatever. But it doesn't matter. Here I am, and I'm going to put this stuff up, and I guess just roll with it and see how it goes. Anywho, obviously I didn't plan any of this out. This video I just started making it. I don't have very good notes, so I really am just umming and ahhing a lot. But yeah, we'll see how the weigh-in goes tonight.